You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I don't know what that was. I feel like I've lied and deceived you all tonight with the title of this show, because that ninth inning was probably the most exhausting thing I've ever watched. Hey, they won though, right? Can't be too mad about it. But my God. I mean, what are you doing here? I know I've got a whole bevy of things I've written over here on my graphics on this side that I'm going to be honest, I don't even know we'll get to any of that. What was that? 7 runs given up in the ninth inning? Can you please get an out? Send Contreras out tomorrow. Back to Sugarland you go, buddy. Sorry, you can't have that here. Oh, my God. I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted after watching that ninth inning. Thanks for joining me, by the way, here tonight. You guys are filing in quickly. Appreciate it. We got a lot to get to. We got Jose Altuve's concern. We've got, well, how should the Astros not only deal with the Altuve issue, but deal with the guys constantly getting hit. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the win in general, surviving as you see a bullpen night there, somebody getting hot, which is a good sign. A lot of it to get to, but hey, you know what? They got to win, and that's all that matters is they stay red hot overall. Not every win is going to be easy. I get that in baseball. But man, oh man, test my patience a little bit more tonight, please. My goodness. This episode of the Locked On Astros Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah, the right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your rivals. Check out Booking.com for your stay today. So, let's kind of just weave through all of this. We got to start with the ninth inning. We'll push Altuve a few minutes down the road. Now, tonight was a bullpen night. And, you know, this team is not built to do this very often. I personally thought it was a mistake doing this the last time. I think it was a mistake doing it again tonight. I just don't like them. This Astros bullpen doesn't give me the old warm and fuzzies to want to do that. Now, look, they've had 2 of these bullpen games on this road trip, and guess what they've done in both of them? They've won. So, okay. You know, it is what it is. You know, Dubin wasn't great to come out tonight. You get through the baseball game, though, your offense starts to take off. Look, let's just be honest with it. There's a reason why Contreras is, I don't even know how old he is. He's got to be 28, 29 years old. He's 28. There's a reason why he's making his major league debut at 28. He's a triple-A pitcher. He's not a big league pitcher, and we saw why. I'm not going to lie to you. I know that a lot of people are, I'm on Twitter and I'm watching people. Oh, thank goodness Joe Espada's going to the bullpen here. Like, you got to go do this. Like, I would have gone to the bullpen sooner. I would have gone somebody else sooner. I would have had Josh Hader up earlier. And you put Josh Hader into a horrible spot there. And he did not get – it's not like he got loose really quickly. Or I should say he got loose really quickly, and that kind of made things – that's not the easiest situation to be in the world. Look, Josh Hader entered that inning like all the other guys in the bullpen that had not been used, kicking back, relaxing, not even in the mindset of I'm even a thought of being used in this baseball game. Now, look, Josh Hader can't come in there and serve one up over the middle of the plate. It's easier said than done. I get that. But this is your $95 million closer, and I've given him a lot of praise. He's been a lot better recently. But this is like 3 outings now in his last – I don't know, like 5 or 6 outings that he's given up a home run. We just went through this the other day when he came in and gave up a home run. We literally just talked about this. His numbers have rebounded. I mean, ERA is nothing that you ever need to like get all crazy about with a reliever because it's just such a small sample size. It's up to 392 now. But he's given up 7 home runs this season. That's not good as a closer, like at all. He has now given up home run wise. As I was just pulling back up his game log here, that's 1, 2, 3 in his last 5 outings. 3 home runs his last 5 outings. That's not good. You can't do that. And it's just like a hitter. I get that. There's ebbs and flows of it. Just stop leaving meatballs over the middle of the plate when you come into these situations like this. It's just, I'm not like, I don't want to come off like I'm not happy tonight, but it almost feels like they lost the baseball game tonight based off the way that ninth inning went plus the Altuve stuff. This is a night where they went out and pounded out 13 hits. They obliterated the Twins pitching staff basically all night long. They destroyed Pablo Lopez, who destroyed them the last time they faced him. They looked great at the plate tonight. And I'm over here just like, oh my God, what was that? That was terrible. But seriously, we can get Contreras out of here tomorrow. Back to the Space Cowboys he goes. Him. I know Brian King gave up a run tonight. And while I'm on it, look, the only guy out of the bullpen that was any good, 2 of them, Seth Martinez and Brian Abreu. Or not Brian Abreu, Rafael Montero tonight. Brian Abreu, I'm telling you, I've done this with you guys before, and I'm going to say it again. If you are sitting here telling me you're comfortable with Brian Abreu pitching like Josh Hader to an extent, but Hader, I'm actually a lot more confident in than Brian Abreu. If you are confident when Brian Abreu comes into a game, you are lying to yourself every time he goes out there. It's never clean. I'm telling you, go back and look at it. I'm not going to pull him all up right now because he's had a ton of appearances, which in the last few weeks he's barely had any. He's not pitched a lot overall. It's just not there. It's not. He's not the shutdown guy he was a year ago. As they look towards the rotation here, or towards the deadline, I should say, rotation has to be on their mind, correct? Yes. They have to be thinking about rotation. They also have to clearly be thinking about bullpen arms. They lack pitching depth. Big time. They need some guys that can get some serious outs and serious moments, and they're not getting that consistently enough at times. It's never going to be perfect. Like, I think we all watched the 2022 season where they were just lights out across the board all over the place, and it kind of infects your brain. You think this is the norm, and that season was not the norm. These kind of things can be the norm, where it's a little bit up and down and up and down and up and down and whatever, and you're having to go with this guy and that guy. Just mixing and matching. Guys don't have good years. Guys have great years, whatever it might be. But they got to look at bullpen, and they got to look at starter. I'm feeling good enough about the offense, but there's the Jose Altuve injury now that lingers, which if you guys see it before I do, throw it in the comments, and I'll say it out loud. But we'll see what Twitter has to say. I'm pretty sure Brian McTaggart and Chandler Rome are both there at the game, so they'll probably have an update as soon as they talk to Joe Ibotta, at least on what he says. I don't know if they'll say much of it, but we'll talk about that here in just a brief second. Thank you for joining me tonight on your Friday night, by the way. Really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel tonight, we keep on rolling. We rolled right past that 1,200 number last night. If you guys want to hit that subscribe button, we're working towards 13, baby. We're rolling. We're rolling. It's because of you guys. We're talking Astros baseball. And they won again tonight. Let's not let all the little negative things cloud our mind here completely. 46-42 now on the season are the Astros. Taking an update on the AL West at the moment as we sit here doing this show. Sorry to those of you that are watching it later or listening to it on podcast later. While we're doing this show, the Mariners are currently beating the Blue Jays 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th. So come on, Toronto, figure something out. Help the Astros out here tonight. And the Astros and the Twins will play 2 more games in this series, both day games coming up to wrap up this series. Let's talk the Jose Altuve injury tonight, getting hit on the hand. Not a good look, nothing about it. Screened positivity. We'll talk about that in just a brief second here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. And right now, here on the Locked On Astros Postcast, I want to tell you about Booking.com. Yeah, that's right. Summer travel is heating up, especially if you want to travel to baseball games. And it's time to explore those U.S. cities you've always secretly wanted to learn more about. Yes, we're talking about rivals cities. I've done it a lot in the past using Booking.com. We've gone off to New York. We've gone off to Seattle, Chicago, you name it. I've been able to see the country quite a bit and do it following the Astros, and we book those stays with Booking.com. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your rivals. So, again, go to Booking.com today. Again, that's Booking.com on the site or in the Booking.com app. And one more quick reminder before we get back into our Astros discussion and the Jose Altuve injury that happened out there on the field tonight. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available for U.S. customers. Locked On Astros Postcast Friday night. This is a good number. I appreciate you guys popping in here and watching the show tonight. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to it. We keep on climbing 1,300 to be here before we know it. And we're going to keep setting records for this channel. I really do appreciate it. Astros, good Lord. I mean, testing our patience tonight. 13-12 the final with the 7 runs given up there in the 9th inning, which was just absolutely incredible if the Twins pulled all that off. You know, it is what it is. And, you know, you live to fight another day, right? Tomorrow, 105 or 110 first pitch tomorrow and Sunday between these two teams. The Astros tomorrow will actually have a starting pitcher on the mound, which would be good. Hunter Brown, who's been just dominant up against Joe Ryan from Minnesota. Then Sunday, Spencer Arrighetti versus Simeon Woods Richardson. So pitching advantage in that one goes to the Twins. Tonight, the storyline outside of the 7 runs given up in the 9th is Jose Altuve. I don't feel good about it. I think that's the simplest way to put it. Jose Altuve got hit on the hand, which, you know, that's been something that's happened in his past. Obviously, last year in the World Baseball Classic, getting hit, breaking that thumb, missing a couple of months. I don't want to put the bad vibes, bad juju out there for it, that it's something like that. But there was nothing comforting about Jose Altuve getting hit, first of all. And then also, when he gets hit, immediately, you saw it, he immediately looked towards the dugout and waved towards the dugout. I did not like that. He basically pulled himself from the game. And you typically see from players when things like that happen, it's not a good sign. Okay. Glory, hallelujah. Brian McTaggart tweeted it 45 seconds ago. The Astros say that Altuve just has a left-hand contusion, X-rays negative. Oh, my goodness. Oh, after that 9th inning plus that, I feel like I just need a drink. I've already had a bottle of wine with my wife tonight. Might have to go crack open a second one. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe it. I was for sure going to sit here and think that we were about to talk about Jose Altuve having a broken hand. But my goodness, it has not happened. Just a left-hand contusion. I'm going to go ahead and assume he's going to miss a couple of days. So, good. We needed that one, right? Again, if you're just tuning in or whatever, left-hand contusion apparently for Altuve. X-rays negative. Just so good. Oh, man. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do right now. My emotions are all over the place. They won. They annoyed me. They stressed me out. I thought Altuve was going to be done for a while. What's this team going to do? They already have been without Kyle Tucker forever. Like, what is this life? They're just getting it together. He's alive. It would be a problem if they missed him. And I tweeted out the one thing that we talked about the other day with Altuve. He started the game with it. I mean, I know that he gets screwed by an umpire to be put into a bad count. He is just, when he's up there, though, he had a couple of hits. Again, results are results. In the numbers show it. He's striking out more than ever. He's got, a chase rate that's up there higher than ever. But you know what? I don't care. If he gets hits and he's not, baseball dead right now because his hand's not been crushed. I'm just very, very happy right now that that's the case. I'm going to guess again, they're probably going to hold him out, I would imagine, for the rest of the weekend. They have the day off on Monday, so you could give him 3 straight days off. Probably be able to finish the end of the first half of the season off. They're going to play the Marlins for 3 this next week. Those will be very easy games. The Marlins stink. Then the Rangers for 3 to finish that. He was already non-committal to playing in the All-Star game when he was asked about it before. Like, he wouldn't say for sure if he was going to go or not. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. Congratulations to Marcus Semien on being able to start in the All-Star game at their ballpark up there, the barn. No, they didn't use the word discomfort, by the way, for those of you asking there in the comments. But I'm going to go ahead and guess Jose Altuve will not be participating in the All-Star game, which I'm fine with. You know, I do love the All-Star game because of you can't fake it in a baseball game. It's the only All-Star game that they actually play in, which is great. But there's too much at stake for the Astros. They don't need Alvarez out there. They don't need Ronel Blanco pitching in it because I'm assuming he's making it. Kyle Tucker probably still makes it, but isn't going to participate in it. Then Jose Altuve definitely doesn't need to participate in it, especially now after getting hit on the hand. That's definitely what you don't need. So rest up, Altuve. I am very, very happy. I really thought with his reaction, the way that he reacted scared me the most because you do not react that way if something's not wrong typically. And look, you take a 90, I think the pitch was well over 90 miles an hour. I don't remember. I'm sure it was a fastball. I don't even remember what kind of pitch it was at this point. But you take one of those off the hand like that, it's going to hurt, clearly. It's going to pop you, and it's going to sting you, and it's going to have that immediate shock and that adrenaline and all those things going on. And he probably did think it was broken at the moment or something. But good news, it's not. It's just a hand contusion, as they're calling it. And hopefully he'll be back here pretty soon. Just don't go on the injured list. That'd be nice. I mean, you could play Dubon every day at second base, but they need Dubon's versatility all over the place. So that would be a good thing for the Astros if he can avoid him being out for a lengthy period of time, which I say lengthy, of more than a couple of days when they have the day off on Monday. We got a little bit more to get into, including somebody that's getting hot. And I did want to talk about in general surviving games like this, and we'll go ahead and take a look at tomorrow. The second of 3 this weekend against this Twins team. We'll do that next here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Here on the Locked On Astros Postcast, we pride ourselves on getting you the latest news for your team, whether it's the offseason, the draft, spring training, or the playoffs. It's year-round. You know what else is year-round? Collection season. Just because tax season is over doesn't mean the IRS will stop coming after you for your unfiled taxes. The IRS can garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, and even seize your property. Don't let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals at tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. With over 14 years of experience and an A-plus rating by the Better Business Bureau, Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes, have complicated matters that require tax planning, or finally hit that parlay this season and need help correctly filing, call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/lockedon and be sure to mention Locked On Astros Postcast at checkout and you'll receive $250 discount for their services. And one final message before we get back to our Astros discussion and look ahead to tomorrow's baseball game where they'll look to take another series, which would be awesome. Let me tell you about Ibotta. Sandals, sunscreen, snacks for the kids. What do these have in common? You're probably buying a ton again this summer, but don't stress out about the cost. Use Ibotta and get cash back on all your purchases when you stock up on all of your summer essentials. Are you taking that dream vacation this summer but dreading the cost? With Ibotta, you get cash back on all your purchases so you can spend more time making memories this summer and less time dreaming about them. Ibotta is a free app that lets you earn cash back every time you shop. Earn hundreds on items from groceries to beauty supplies, even toys, so you can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta. by using the code LOCKEDONMLB when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back. And again, use that code LOCKEDONMLB. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store, and use code LOCKEDONMLB. All right, right back to it here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Seriously, thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you're new, we would appreciate it. We would love it if you'd come back and do this with us again. We do this after all the Astros games. You can hit the subscribe button, help us keep climbing, baby. We hit the 1,200 mark yesterday's baseball game. Let's try and creep towards that 1,300 mark today because we're getting closer and closer, and I really do appreciate it from you guys watching the shows, whether it's before or after, and then joining us during it. And again, if you're new to this channel, it won't just be because this channel's only been around since late April, I think, or mid-April. We will do this for Rockets, Texans, and the Cougs, plus the Astros. So a lot of me still in your life. I know that some of you guys have made put some comments on videos recently about, being on the radio. You miss me on the radio, which I appreciate you saying that. I'm here to tell you, I'll do it like I did. Now, this one, not like when I said the Astros were going to make the postseason this year, because now they're going to make the postseason. I'm not coming back to radio. This is what I do now. I have another thing in life that I'm doing, but this is what you're going to get in terms of me talking sports with you guys. It was a great part of my life. That part I've moved on from. But this is a lot of fun. It keeps me in it, and I'm glad to do it. I'm very appreciative of Locked On for calling me when I became available to do that, and I have the time to do it, and it works around my schedule a little bit. Some days a little bit more tricky than others, but it's great to be here doing this every single game. Win tonight, 13-12. Still feel like, still feels it doesn't feel like a win when it gets that close at the end. 7 runs given up in the 9th inning. But you know what? You can't be too picky, I guess. Again, I always try to remind myself you cannot be too picky. A guy that's getting hot that I did want to talk about, which is a good sign. How about Jeremy Pena? Jeremy Pena's coming on, people. 3 for 5 tonight. 3 runs batted in, coming off of a good series against the Toronto Blue Jays. Probably should have hit 3 home runs in that series. Ended up only hitting 1. 2 of them hit off the top of the fence. He's up to 285, 7-40. He's got the OPS back up over 733. He's never going to walk a lot. I think that I was hopeful that he would find a way to walk more. 43 of them last year. He's got 17 so far this season. Strikeout rate's down a little bit. He might continue that trend of striking out less in the season this year. So, it is, I guess there's that positive, but he's finally getting a way to get going here, which is nice. They need him to find that bat because Jeremy Pena is an important player, and it helps lengthen the lineup out quite a bit. And if they ever are able to get back to full strength, where obviously Altuve will be back and you get Kyle Tucker back as well after the All-Star break, I would assume at this point, you do all that, and Jeremy Pena's hitting 6 or 7, and he's hitting good, very good, great, makes this baseball team lethal. So I'm very happy to see him swinging that bat. He swung it so well early in the season. He did such a good job of, hitting the ball hard, hitting it on a line, and then it kind of went back to ground balls there for a while, not getting a lot of results, not hitting the ball as hard, and it kind of gave no power. No power. And I would still like to see more power. I'm going to be picky here. This is where I am going to be picky because I know how powerful he is. I want to see more home runs out of Jeremy Pena. Not that I'm asking him to sell out for it. If he's going to hit hard line drives all over the place and get base hits, hit 285 or better, then fine, whatever. You know what? If you want to be a 15 home run hitter in the year, I'll live with that. I'll absolutely live with that because he's going to get hits. He's going to knock in some runs. But I'm glad to see it, that he's getting closer to the guy that we saw early in the season because it did look like an improved Jeremy Pena earlier this year. I do want to give another shout out too, and I know it's just a couple of singles tonight. I wish he'd mix in some extra base hits, but another couple hits for John Singleton tonight. His bats look good recently. He's been hitting the baseball really, look, you can't complain much about the lineup tonight. They wrapped out 16 hits, 13 runs Altuve 2 for 4. Dubon had a hit after he came in. Bregman 2 for 4, hits a 3-run jack, which turned out to be massive. My goodness. Thank God he hit that home run. Jordan had a hit and drove in a run. I mean, Yiner 2 for 5. Singleton, as I mentioned, 2 for 5. Pena 3 for 5. Jake had a hit with 2 runs batted in. Loperfido had a hit with 2 batters driven in, and Cesar Salazar, who's actually hit the baseball since he's been up. Part of me is like, hey, can you find a way to keep Cesar Salazar up here and like just DH Yiner Diaz at this point and let Caratini and Salazar play behind the plate? Because Salazar's looked competent at the plate this year. And everybody in the organization raves about his catching skills. And everybody that throws to him raves about his catching skills as well. So, that was pretty incredible. And I haven't even mentioned it yet to this point because I've been so caught up in everything else. I mean, catch of the year, right? Joey Loperfido. Thank goodness for replay, too, because, look, I get it. That's a very hard call for an umpire to make. He's standing, his job is to get down the line a little bit, but like he's not close to the play. It's a difficult thing to see, but thank goodness for replay because, what a play. To get up there like he did, obviously didn't hold on to it. It came out, but to keep your eye literally on the ball and to make that athletic of a play as you're falling down, I don't know that there's going to be a better catch in baseball this season. I really don't. I can't imagine. Just from the uniqueness helps because you don't see a lot of catches like that. You get the highlight plays all over the place. Guy robs this home run, dives here, they're all special and they're all, awesome, but they're not so different all the time because it's a lot of the same thing. I don't recall seeing many plays like that. It's just awesome catch for Joey Loperfido. And he needed that double, by the way. That's one of those guys, we're kind of in this funky period where these guys got some playing time available to them with Kyle Tucker being out. They need Joey Loperfido to hit a little bit, and he went back into a major funk there for a minute where it was really, 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 really bad. I think he was like 2 for 24 at one point over this, entering a game in this past weekend over his previous 24 at-bats. But getting that double down the line, working the line literally there was probably a great feeling for Joey Loperfido. So on top of that, great catch in a good night for the Astros. I know that, again, you don't love to see giving up 7 runs in the 9th inning, but they're 4 games over 500 now for a team that at one point was 12 games under. I'll take my latest look at the scores before we say goodnight here. The Mariners are still up 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th. They're threatening to add more there, so it's going to go to the 9th in all likelihood, with the Blue Jays probably going to go ahead and lose that baseball game. So, it is what it is. Astros and Twins tomorrow. Again, pitching matchup favors the Astros. Even though Joe Ryan's had a nice year, Hunter Brown has been about as dominant as you can get in this game of baseball. And I would imagine tomorrow we'll probably see a little bit more of the same out of him. I am interested to see what he can do against this Twins lineup. They can bop it a little bit. Obviously, you saw it. They can hit the ball around the yard a little bit. So won't be the easiest challenge for him. But based off the way that he's thrown of late, a challenge that he should be able to handle, you would think, overall. Again, after the game tomorrow afternoon, hopefully a little bit quicker than this one. I mean, this one was like 3.5 hours with a pitch clock on it. Win a little bit quicker tomorrow, Astros, please. Yes, I'm going to be picky on this one too. Again, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Greatly appreciate it. We're making our climb to 1,300 subscribers. I think we're about 40 away. So come on, let's go. I believe in you guys. Y'all can do it. Y'all have done it to this point. Keep spreading the channel. Keep doing your thing in the comments. I mean, honestly, this is the most we've had watching on a show tonight live, and I am so appreciative of that. The most comments we've had during a show. I'm sorry that I can't go through, get to all of them at times. I see some of them as they come in. We just had a lot to talk about tonight, so it is one of those things. For those of you that have been here from day one, thank you. For those of you that are new, again, thank you. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep enjoying some Astros baseball and hopefully a lot more winning. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Talk to you all tomorrow afternoon right here on the Locked On Astros Postcast.